With 63 days of over 100-degree temperatures, that's not half bad idea. Go jump in a lake. Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster. Go jump in a lake sounds almost refreshing after that 63 days of over 100-degree temperatures. You know, but before I think getting in that lake, I wonder if the winds might be good enough to sail in. Let me conduct just a little bit of research on the Triforia website for wind. Let's see what they have to say. This says it's going to be windy enough to blow my hair back. And that's going to take some doing because I don't have that much hair. You know, I think it's going to be a great time to go sailing. And I have to tell you, I grew up sailing. I spent my entire teen years sailing. We actually raced sailboats, so I would count myself as an experienced sailor. And ever since I left Colorado, which is where I got all my experience sailing, I have been looking high and low for a sailboat. And then I got married, and I had other distractions. And that was 5 kids ago. But I've still been looking for a sailboat. And this past spring, I actually spied one out. I was still looking, and I found one. I found one at a local garage sale. Now, the garage sale had the windsurfer for $100, but I was not looking, wasn't in my budget to buy a windsurfer. Windsurfer's almost a sailboat, but not quite. I was really looking for a lawnmower. So I found the lawnmower. I asked him, do you have a lawnmower? He said, yeah, I've got a lawnmower, but it has no back wheels, so you have some assembly required, you know. So I got the lawnmower, $30. Now I had $200 budgeted for this. So I figured $200 for the lawnmower, I get it for $30. He said the windsurfer, he said he's going to ask $200 for it, he gave it to me for $100. So I figured, hey, I just saved $70. Woo! So I figured, okay, now I got a windsurfer, but you know, in springtime, it's not 100 degrees. In fact, the lakes were only 58 degrees when I got that windsurfer. So I frantically waited for the weather to warm up so I could actually get out on the lake. In fact, when I looked at the temperature of the lake, and I looked at how long it was going to take to get that water temperature up, I thought, oh, that's going to take forever. So I figured, okay, well, I just made $70 on this deal with this windsurfer. I could actually go forward to go look for a wetsuit. So I looked for a wetsuit, and I finally decided that was just not a very practical thing. You know, I just couldn't fit into them. So I figured, okay, we're just not going to go with that. We'll actually take the time and start preparing for success. So I was reading this book on how to win success through a positive mental attitude, Norman Peele's book, and I figured, okay, one of the things they say to do is to start off with a vision. So I came up with a vision. They can encapsulate your vision in a vision board with pictures and the like. So I came up with a vision, and they said, you know, you should put it someplace where you're going to see it frequently. So I figured, hey, you know, if I put it on the headboard of my bed, it will help me succeed. So I stuck it on the headboard of my bed. My wife, of course, told me she did not think that would really help me get what I wanted. I don't know. I figured she just didn't really have the faith. But I stuck it there anyway, and I would do all my exercises, you know, I can believe whatever I can believe and conceive I can achieve. So I was gearing up. I would watch videos on YouTube, and I would see all the tricks they would do and jumping in and stuff. I figured, hey, I'm an experienced sailor. This is going to be no problem. Before long, I'll be doing those too. However, when the wind warmed up, I got out on the lake. Finally, the wind warmed up. So I got out on the lake, and I figured, okay, here's my chance to put this stuff into practice. I'm no longer thinking about it. I'm actually going to get out there and do it. So I get out on the lake. I put the surfboard out there, and after trying to figure out how to get that sail on the board, I got it on the board, all set out in the lake. And these windsurfers, when you see them on YouTube or the like, they just grab the windsurfer, they step onto the board, and off they go across the lake. It is so fun looking. I figured, woohoo, we're going to be out there sailing. So I get out there, And now my board's just not quite set up like theirs was. It has a 2-foot centerboard on it. Now, if I got out 2 foot of water and I tried to step on that board, it just didn't work. I thought I was going to get a schism in my pants. So we get out there. I finally decide, well, you know, I'm just not going to try to step on the board. What I'll do is I'll just climb on the board. So I climb on the board, and promptly the board flips over on top of me. I think, this cannot be that hard. The board flipping over on top of me. I figure, okay. Now, so I finally figured out if I put myself on the opposite side of the sail, it provides a little bit of balance for me. So I get on the board, and then I have to get the sail up. I can't just start with it up. I knew that wasn't going to work. So I get out there and I pull on this board and try and get that sail up, and all I got was this strange, funny look like I was constipated. But my wife had a great solution. I talked to her. She said, I know you're having problems getting it up, but you're going to... So she gives me some great suggestions, and before long, you know, I lose the constipated look on my face, and everything is flowing smoothly. So I get up there, and I get the sail up, and then, you know, I feel like, okay, I've got the sail up, and as soon as I get a little bit of wind, next thing you know, I should be shooting across the lake, right? And I'm going the wrong direction. I start going backwards. How can you go backwards in a sailboat? That's just insane. I'm an experienced sailor. This should just simply not happen. Well, I finally figured out what was going on. I was on the front of the windsurfer, and I'd pulled the sailboat in. I was not really going backwards. The sailboat was going backwards. I was just holding the boom the wrong way. So I got out there, I finally managed to get the sailboat up, get the windsurfer, the sail just right, and make it a few feet forward before I fell off into the water. And this has been my experience for, well, it's been about 3 months now. I'm still falling off the sailboard. It's not quite jumping a lake, but it's close. You know, I feel like these people who write these videos on YouTube, they just don't do it justice. You know, they show it all in the context of success. They show you how to pull up the sail, and the guy's got this kind of nice look on his face, like it's so easy and it's no big deal. I don't know how they figure that out. So I get the sail up, and they pull the sail in, and they go scooting across the lake. It looks just too easy. What they really need to do is they need to show a realistic video of how hard it really is. They need to show the guy with a constipated look on his face. They need to show him flying off the board or falling on the sail, because that's realism. After they show those things, then they need to show, but, ... 6 months later, the guy pulling it up and with ease pulling in the sail and off shooting across the lake. But I did find out that those things, success through positive mental attitude, having a vision of where you're going, having a plan for how to step through those tasks is critical, and they do help you succeed. So Mr. Toastmaster, next time you're looking for a thing to do, go jump in a lake.